Have you ever found yourself in a situation where your ads are performing wonderfully? You're very happy with your results, and then all of a sudden they come crashing and burning? Well, you, my friend, just might be suffering from ad creative fatigue, and in this video, I'm going to show you exactly how to fix it. What's up, everyone? Alvaro here from Alvaro Barrios Digital, and today I will show you how to fix one of the most frustrating issues inside of Facebook ads, which is creative ad fatigue. Now, before we dive into it, we need to go over some definitions here. That way we're all on the same page. So what exactly is creative ad fatigue? Well, creative ad fatigue is a scenario in which your ad was previously performing well and all of a sudden it's not, and the culprit of that is that people are just seeing the same creatives over and over again. Now you might be saying,
well, how is that possible?
Because I have been in the scenario where, I'm running ads for 2-3 weeks, everything's going great, and then for whatever reason in that fourth week things crash and burn, but I'm targeting an audience of millions and millions of people. So how could that possibly be that the same people are seeing the ads over and over again? So you're right to think that that might be a little bit of an impossible scenario, but this then also boils down to what I call over optimization by the algorithm. So the algorithm is constantly analyzing people's behaviors, and one of the behaviors that it picks up as a positive signal is that if you or anyone else interacts with an ad, they see that as a signal, hey, this person right here is interested in this business, therefore they might be interested in what they actually have to sell, which on the surface definitely makes sense. What ends up happening is that it'll just way over optimize for that positive signal. So let's say you're scrolling through your news feed and you see an ad and you click that read more button, you read through the whole copy, but then you realize that it wasn't for you, and so you keep on scrolling on. Well, regardless, you interacted with that ad, the algorithm notices that, and then it goes, wow, this person is super interested in this business. Let's keep on getting in front of them over and over again. And again, that can be good for a little while, because maybe you were reading the ad, you got distracted, your phone rang, someone knocked on the door, who knows? And so you just never took action on the ad, so it's gonna keep getting back in front of you. Or you could just said, no thank you, and keep on scrolling on. It's not going to know the difference. It's not going to know why you kept on scrolling on or moved away. So it's just gonna keep on getting back in front of you over and over again, even if it's to the detriment of your sanity and the results of that campaign that is running. So the other thing to keep in mind is that, kind of going back to the concept of, hey, I'm running an ad to millions and millions of people, like how could I actually be getting in front of the same people over and over again? Well, what most people don't realize is that when you are targeting any audience, the amount of people that you actually get in front of is going to change based upon the objective that you choose. So here, let's talk about specifically the leads and sales objectives, aka the two conversion objectives, because those are the two most commonly used types of objectives, and they're the highest value objectives. Now, whenever you target those, the audience that you're actually getting in front of, the sub audience, is going to be significantly smaller. So as a random example, I'm not saying these are the exact numbers right here, but just to kind of give you an idea, let's say you're targeting an audience of 1 million people. Well, over time, if you run that campaign to that audience forever and ever using either the leads or the sales objective, you're never going to get in front of all 1 million people ever, right? That's just the case, because if no one has the attributes that the algorithm sees as, oh, this person is likely to convert, there's no reason for the algorithm to show them an ad from your campaign. So you're maybe actually only going to be targeting a subset of maybe about 200,000 people within that 1 million person audience. And so you're not actually targeting 1 million people, you're more so targeting, maybe 200,000, 300,000, something like that. So always keep that in mind, which is why I always recommend the bigger the audience, the better, because you're never actually targeting whatever the audience size is. If you actually do want to be targeting millions of people, again, I don't know the number, Facebook doesn't reveal this type of information, but I would guess you'd need a minimum of a 10 million person audience to actually be able to get in front of millions of people over time. But that's just, again, kind of my guess. All right, so now that you understand what creative ad fatigue is and what can cause it and why you're not getting in front of your entire target audience, now let's get into the fix. So the way to fix this over optimization issue is to create audiences so that you can block the people who have interacted with your ads over a certain period of time. So what you want to do, go to your audiences and you're going to create a couple different audiences. This is how I break this down. I'm not saying that these are the best numbers to use. You can play around with these any way you want. I'm simply sharing the way that I do it. But I'll go in there and I'll create an audience of everyone who's engaged with my Facebook and Instagram profiles over the last 7 days, and then I'll do the same audience for over the last 14 days, then 21 days, and lastly 30 days. And so what I'm trying to do here is that I'm creating these different subsets of audiences that have interacted with me within a 30-day period, right? And I want to see, okay, when I exclude one of these, will my ad fatigue issue stop? And the number you want to be looking at, or the metric you're going to be looking at to see if this is working effectively, is your frequency number. If you're not familiar with the frequency metric, what it is that it's an indication of how many times people are seeing your ad over the given time period that you're looking at. So if you're looking at your stats from the last 7 days and you're looking at the frequency number and it's 4, it's saying that means that on average over the last 7 days people have seen your ads 4 times. If you're doing the last 2 days and the frequency is 2, it means that over the last 2 days people have seen your ads 2 times, right? It's a very simple metric to follow. So obviously you want that number to start dropping because you don't want to see the same people seeing your ad over and over again. So just kind of as an FYI, going back to that frequency number, is that typically when I see ad creative fatigue really kick in and derail results, it's usually around the 2.5% frequency time period. Really at 3%, you start seeing something significant, and at 4, it's kind of like game over. Like your campaign is just never going to work unless you do this fix. So now that you've created the audiences, the 7-day, 14, 21, and 30, now you start doing some tests. So first go in there to your existing campaign and you're going to exclude the 7-day audience, and then you're going to give it some time. Is 7 days enough time to people kind of to take a break from your ads and then see them 7 days later? So by blocking this 7-day audience, you are literally forcing the algorithm to get in front of new people, because once someone interacts with your ad, they're in your engagement audience that you created. So if you're blocking people who have interacted with you the last 7 days, they cannot see your ads for another 7 days. And so you see if that works, and it's going to force the algorithm to get in front of people, new people that is. And then if that doesn't work, test the 14-day and then the 21-day and then the 30-day. And usually with the 30-day, I have never actually had to create a 30-day audience, or bigger than a 30-day audience, I should say, to fix this issue. Usually 30 days is enough, but who knows, maybe there is some sort of scenario out there where you might even want to go up to 45 or 60 days or whatever it might be. But usually, like I said, the maximum I've ever need to do to get my ads working again and really force the algorithm to get in front of new people, that way eliminating my creative fatigue, is the 30-day audience. So that is the solution and the fix. I hope it makes sense. Go ahead and give it a try. Keep a close eye on that frequency number. So if you have any questions about this process, as always, just let me know in the comments below. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I will see you next time.